So we dumped our stuff, and here is the first thing we saw. Welcome to the Bahamas.
We are in Nassau, staying at the Baha Mar.
To fly to the Bahamas, we decided to drive from the Tampa Bay area to the Fort Lauderdale airport. The amount of time it took us to drive ended up being about the same amount of total travel time as it would have been to fly out of the Tampa airport, because the Tampa airport had a layover in Fort Lauderdale. And since it was about the same amount of total travel time, we decided just to drive in case flying upset the babies' ears. We didn't want to subject them to 2 flights if we didn't have to. The airport was so busy, and it was overwhelming to me because I just have not dealt with that much congestion in a really long time. Mitch took it like a champ, so that's nice, but it made me so nervous. We had to get the kids' ticket at the counter because they were lap infants, so you have to check in person. You can't get them on your phone. And the lines were so long. After we got through the line, they actually told us that we were in the wrong one, but they agreed to help us anyway. They told us we would never get through the other line in time, which was downstairs, even though we were there around 3 hours before our flight. So I have no idea if that's normal in Fort Lauderdale or not. I know that this is being posted around the time of spring break, but we were there in early February, so it was not spring break. There were no holidays or anything like that the weekend that we flew out. So I don't know if this is just a Fort Lauderdale thing or not, but even though it was busy, things were really organized. The lines were just long. We were just rusty flying out of such a big airport and flying with 2 kids for the first time. This was our first trip flying with both babies, and it was both of their first trips out of the country as well. Boarding was absolute chaos. It was just kind of a disaster, but it was a really good learning experience for next time, and I know that next time it's going to go so much better. And once we were on the flight, all of our stress just melted away, and it was like nothing else mattered anymore. The kids did amazing on the flight. William fell asleep before takeoff, and our daughter stayed awake the whole time but was super chill. And the flight said it was an hour, but it literally just felt like a few minutes. It went so fast. Customs went very smoothly. You're not allowed to take videos there, so I don't have any. But once we wrapped up, our bags that we had checked were already waiting for us, and we were ready to go. Do you have that same feeling once you leave the airport in a new place, like that just wave of excitement? Because it was so strong here. I was so euphoric, and I think it was just because I felt so accomplished traveling with kids. Even though it was such a short flight, like I had been so worried about it, and getting there to the destination was just that much sweeter because of it. Taxis are lined up right outside the airport. They're completely safe. Just make sure that you're getting into a legitimate one, which they were all legitimate when we were there. And it was $30 one way. It was very, very easy to grab a taxi, even with kids. I think seeing William this happy with the windows down will be such a core memory for me forever. The drive from the airport to the resort is really short. It was like 15 minutes, but it felt even shorter. It felt like seconds. It went so fast. We had heard stories about taxi drivers driving like crazy, and maybe we're just used to crazy drivers since we live in Florida, but we didn't have that experience. He told us that he was driving extra careful since we had babies in the car. I don't know if that's true or not, but we weren't scared. We didn't feel unsafe. It went really smooth, and in no time at all, we were at the resort. Check-in was really, really fast, and they let us check in early, which we were so thankful for. I was so worried about having to keep 2 babies occupied, not knowing if they'd be tired when we got there or not. We got there around 1, so they let us in a few hours early, which is just incredible. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so we just got to our room, and this is gonna have to be quick because the kids are doing great, but this is a lot. We've pushed them really hard. We were not supposed to have any sort of ocean view. We booked this hotel on points, so you can only book a very, very standard room. So not only is it not supposed to have this view, but it was supposed to be 2 queens, and we prefer a king, which we got. So they upgraded us at check-in, and this is, I think, the nicest place we've ever stayed in. So let me show you. Okay, here's the bathroom. Hey, pretty standard, you know, it's a bathroom. But then here's where you walk in. Sorry, we just dumped all of our stuff. We are tired after traveling. What do you think? Okay. There are 2 balconies. This one goes the whole length of the living room. See, it's really, really long and huge. You can kind of see. Here's the living room, and Mitchell and William. And this kitchen I want in like my house, to be honest with you. This is nice, and it came with a washer and dryer. We didn't bring detergent because we didn't expect to get upgraded. Again, there's the stuff we left. This couch is probably nicer than the one at our house. And then just a nice little work area, I guess. And then a whole bedroom. Oh my gosh, Mitchell, did you know there's another bathroom in here?
Yeah, I saw it. You can watch me shower.
So there's 2 bathrooms. You guys are watching that in real time. I had no idea.
It's over here.
And then a separate TV. This will be nice for when the baby wakes up. Here's the baby. Hey, Claire Bear, can you say hi? My perfect travel girl. Okay, and here is a second balcony. I can't believe this. This is incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
So we are back in the bathroom. This is the bedroom bathroom. Nice little like rainfall here, but I didn't really realize this when I was showing you. It's having a hard time focusing, but you have an incredible view of the water from the shower. I've never had a view like that from my shower before. Incredible. It's been like literally a second. I wanted to capture like the excitement, raw emotion. So we haven't explored anything, and I can't wait. I don't think we'll leave our room, to be honest with you.
This is insane.
We did leave our room to go check out one of the pools. This pool was close to our room, and it also had food, which is why we chose it. We were starving after traveling, and I actually took no pictures or video of the food because I was so hungry, but it was really good. The cost of food and drink here is not for the faint of heart. It is very expensive. There's no way of sugarcoating it. And that will get mentioned more than once in this video, but seriously, it's expensive. And if you're planning to go, it's just best to know ahead of time so that you're not surprised. I'm really glad I knew ahead of time. I was prepared, and I think that that helped a lot on this trip. Our next video is going to be on tips for visiting Baha Mar, and I'll talk a little bit more about how to save a little bit of money at Baha Mar, or at least as much as you can. So stay tuned for that video if you're planning on going and are worried about how expensive it is once you get there. The details at Baha Mar are so well thought out. The landscaping is absolutely immaculate, and around every corner it seems like there's something new to add to the experience. Like this fire coming out of the water, it's crazy. They also have a huge fountain show. We never made it to see that fountain show. It has like music, and obviously it sprays water into the air along with the music. It's supposed to be really cool. We didn't find out about it until later in our trip, so we didn't make it, but we would have loved to see it. We could actually hear the music from our room to the fountain show. We could not figure out why this music kept playing like every 15 minutes, and it turns out it was for the fountain show. That was a Saturday night. It doesn't play quite as often on weeknights. After bedtime, we were able to relax on the balcony for a while, and I loved watching the cruise ships leave. This is also where we were hearing that music every 15 minutes, so it kind of added to the experience. It was good music. On day 2, we took our time enjoying the hotel room, and in hindsight, I do wish that we had explored a little bit more, but we were so obsessed with the views of our hotel that it was hard to even want to leave, honestly. We did have reservations for a cabana at 11 o'clock, so our plan was to get there right at 11, order food, and then basically come right back to the hotel room for nap time. While we were enjoying kind of a slow morning in our hotel room, William was playing with these measuring cups that the hotel had, and I just think it's so much fun to travel with kids because they don't need a lot, and it's easy to stress about bringing all of the right things and overpack. We certainly overpacked, but in reality, like, these kept him happier than his toys did the whole vacation, and it's just so much fun to like watch them, see new things, learn new things. It's just awesome. We are headed to the beach club. We got day beds for the day. Our understanding is that the cost of the day bed, which is $200 plus like $50, what's like that called? Like the service. Yeah. So $200 plus the $250 includes a $200 credit to 25 North, which is a restaurant here. Looked at the menu already. It looks amazing. So we are off to figure it out. It's 10:08. It opens at 10, so we are going to try to make the most of it this morning. It's cloudy, threatening a little bit of rain.
Yeah, it's not great for the weather, but it's still like 76, 77 degrees. It's nice out, so it's,
Yeah. All right.
A little bit of clouds, no big deal.
We're here. All right. The club has 2 infinity pools, and these chairs in the water are first come, first serve, but you do have to have a reservation to a daybed, a cabana, or a lounge chair to use them. In case it didn't make sense, this is the Cabana Club. It is inside the Baha Mar Resort, right outside of the water park, which is also part of the Baha Mar Resort. And you do have to pay money to get in here. The way that you pay money is that you reserve a daybed, a cabana, or a lounge chair. I don't know how much the cabanas are. They're kind of entirely different than our experience. They come with like their own bottle service, I think, and some other perks. So they're a whole different price. But our day beds were essentially $100 a person, and the loungers are also $100 a person. Whatever amount of money you spend on that day bed or lounger goes towards food at 25 North, which is the closest restaurant to the beach club. It cost us $250 for our lounge chair, which meant that we got $250 worth of food and drink that day from 25 North. It sounds like a lot of money. If you are drinking, it is not a lot of money, but it was nice, and it made it really convenient for budgeting purposes. And if the resort had been busy, I would have loved having a guaranteed spot to relax that was not too busy. We ordered our food and it was absolutely incredible. The food options at Baha Mar are somewhat controversial. I think that because it's so expensive, people have really high expectations. I knew coming in it was expensive, so I think I just had really realistic expectations, and maybe because of that, I thought the food was incredible. It was just so good. Is it worth the money? I don't know, but it was really good.
Everything here is out of control expensive. Yes. So I think we got 2 drinks yesterday, just regular drinks. Like I think I got like a 7 and 7. She got a Malibu Diet. It was $50. That was before tip.
I don't think that our experience was normal, but when we visited, it was not busy at all. It actually felt like we had the whole club to ourselves most of the time. After we ate, we came back up to the hotel room for naps, which just didn't happen, so we decided to head right back down. There were some clouds in the distance, which we didn't think much of because we live in Florida, so we know it's common for there to be clouds, even almost right on top of you, yet get no rain. And so we didn't think much of it, like I said, and even the lifeguard agreed with us. He was like, there's no way it's going to rain. We were very wrong. It rained, and it rained a lot. We got caught in a complete downpour on the way back to the hotel. This footage is of the rain before it got to be too bad. Luckily, we had ordered food before it started raining, and it was ready to go right when it started raining. So it was actually perfect timing. We got to eat the food in our room. The babies ended up taking a really late nap, and so it actually felt like we had a real date almost, and it was probably my favorite memory from this trip. It was a very successful first day at Baha Mar. On our second day, which was also our last full day, William took a morning nap, so we relaxed on the balcony while he did that. We did have daybed reservations again, but we did not rush to get there right at opening this day. We got there around like noon, we swam and we ate. This time we ordered 2 drinks each instead, which made us hit that $250 credit really fast. And when we were packing up to leave, we had planned to come back. There was no rain in the forecast, but once we got back to our room, we were able to watch a storm roll in, and it did rain for a couple of hours. William took a nap while it rained, and so it was really just so cozy. I did not bring a book because I didn't think I'd get to relax at all with 2 kids, and I had really regretted that decision on this trip. So I know that most people are not hoping for rain while they're on vacation. I loved it. It was so much fun to watch the storm roll in, and this storm even left a beautiful rainbow. But if you are not hoping for rain, which you're probably not, then don't worry. I know that it looks like we got a lot of rain on our trip, but it does not stick around for very long. Typically, even 10 minutes and it's done, oftentimes less than that. So don't worry too much about the weather. Even if your weather app tells you it's going to rain, that does not necessarily mean it's going to rain all day. More than likely it won't. More than likely it's not going to ruin your trip.
So just got done with a pretty gnarly rainstorm. As you can see here, we got a pretty cool rainbow. But yeah, it's rained twice since we've been here. Pretty hardcore, but it's really short. I mean, and it's cool to be up in your room and have the balcony view of just a crazy storm. Chelsea got some really cool footage on a time lapse thing. It was really, really cool. So you'll see that.
William woke up right when the rain cleared up, so we set out to explore more of the resort. We really should have done this earlier in the trip, but we were not putting pressure on ourselves to do absolutely everything. We gave ourselves a lot of grace, so we were okay with taking it slow. That's why we maybe did things a little bit backwards or maybe in a way that didn't make the most sense. First up are the flamingos. You can view them here anytime. They also have like a flamingo parade every day where the flamingos walk around the resort with their handlers, or you can pay for extra experiences to mingle with the flamingos and see them up close and personal. This is the sanctuary where there are turtles and sharks and a few other things. It's an additional fee to get in, but it's not recommended for kids under the age of 8, so we did not do it on this trip. We could have seen tropical birds at the aviary, which is free and does not require reservations, but we didn't get there before they closed. But these are just some of the more unique things that Baha Mar has. If you want to encounter some animals, it's just an additional option. There are so many pools at this resort that you could spend your whole trip hopping around to all of them. There are adults only pools, and there are pools that are wonderful for kids. So there truly is a little bit of something for everyone. You can make your vacation at Baha Mar exactly what you want it to be. It truly is great for families. It's great for couples. I'm not paid to say this. It just really is good for all ages. We planned to eat dinner at the food trucks, and I'll give you more tips on saving money in our next video, like I said, but the food trucks are a cheaper food option. They're still pricey, but definitely more budget friendly for Baha Mar standards. But when we got there, they were closed. Our app said that they closed at 6, but they were closed when we got there at 5. So I panicked a little bit because reservations are highly recommended at pretty much all of the restaurants at Baha Mar. But we were able to get in without a reservation at the Pizza Lab. This was my least favorite meal of the trip, but I'm not a huge pizza person, so definitely take that with a grain of salt. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to video on the casino floor, so I didn't. But there is a casino on the ground level of the hotel in the Hyatt hotels, and I put $20 in a machine and won $250. So that was a really great way to end our last night in the Bahamas. This was our last morning. We had to leave around noon, so we had all morning to explore more and hang out. We had planned to go back to the pool with the aquarium, like the little cave that has the aquarium in it at the pool, which is so cool, by the way. But instead, we actually had a pretty rainy morning again. It ended up being okay because watching the storms roll through, like, seriously could just never get old to me. And I promise it did not rain this whole trip. We have really enjoyed watching the cruise ships come in, and I feel like I tried to take some videos of them coming in, but they look so far away in the video. Today's our last day, and today is the biggest day of cruise ships. I think the other days one day there was only one day there were like 4. Today there are 6 coming in. It looks like 3 are in. I see 1 almost in. So it's a good day for cruise ship watching. I'll show you. Okay, it's way out there, so this is not gonna be the greatest quality, but I'm gonna show you the cruise ship about to come in. It looks like it's Carnival. Start to see it is way out there. There it is. And then she is gonna join these ships over here. You can see the 3 that are already there. And then you can kind of see Atlantis over there as well. So that was like just really a fun thing to do, especially when it would rain, was just watch all the cruise ships coming in. They have taxis lined up right outside the resort, so it was really easy to grab a taxi to get back to the airport. You go through customs at this airport, which is really nice because then when you land back in the US, you can just be on your way. You don't have to stand in long lines. It's already done and over with. It all went very smooth, and we had a pretty empty plane on our way home, which was awesome. Both kids slept the entire way, so it was a huge success, both the flight and the trip. Like I said, we'll be doing a video next week on tips and tricks for staying at Baha Mar. I learned so much that will help you plan your trip if you are planning to visit at any point in time. So make sure that you come back and watch that video if you will be going to Baha Mar. We have focused a lot of our travels on Florida so far on this channel because that's what we've been doing. But this trip really made us want to branch out again. I think that we just got into a rut after the you-know-what of 2020. So let us know if there's any place we should add to our list. This trip just inspired us so much to plan more bigger trips in the future.
Close.
Oh.